kid.
Sorry for the wait. Maple is reborn!
Maple?
And Arachne?
I can't believe it! You've grown cuter! Maria! I'm so glad we get to talk! What? Hold on, you can speak now too?
Ah, forget it.
All right, we have The Greatest Alchemist, episode number 4. And here's the thing, my friends. I love this show. I think it's really fun. I think it's really entertaining. I think it's a good time. And I've been watching the dub, episode number 3 and then episode number 4. The first 2 episodes, I just watched the sub, which were perfectly fine, and they were really pretty good. But for simplicity, and I really love dubs, episode 3 and 4, I've been watching the dub. And I will tell you, the dub does suck, but it's growing on me. It is growing on me. I don't think the main character's voice really matches, but it's totally serviceable and it's acceptable. And my kind of rule of thumb when it comes to dubs is, first off, if it has a dub, I'm going to watch the dub. That's just my preference. It's a better watching experience. You know, at the end of the day, I don't speak Japanese. I have tried to learn it multiple times with little success. And sure, I can pick up on a word here and there every so often, and there's certain meanings or phrases that I know what they're saying. But that's like 90, that's like 2%. You know, 98%, I have no idea what the hell is happening, right? If I look away, it's just all, you know, I have no idea what in the world's going on. I don't know if you guys seen that TikTok where like they're watching, and then they look away and it just becomes like, you just can't tell. It's like that for me. But, you know, the dub is growing on me. Now, here's my long-winded introduction to say, I think this episode sucked. I think episode 4 was pretty bad. I think it was pretty boring. I don't think not a lot happened. But the evolution of Maple the spider did end up happening. That's also my dog's name, so I'm like, I gotta watch out. Like, yeah, she's like, yo, what you doing? But Maple the spider did end up evolving, and we got, we'll just call her Kumoko. We'll call her Kumoko from now on. If you know, you know. And that was one thing that I was assuming would happen, but yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen this early. And it ended up happening, and she's now half girl, half spider, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I really love that. I like that it came to fruition. One of the things, though, that beyond this episode being a little bit boring is, you know, they went out and they did take on in Quest. They got leveled up really fast. He basically got the grace of God once again through getting leveled up. He was offered to get leveled up without doing any quests, but they did him anyways. They took on C rank quests when they were like no rank. They defeated a goblin general, and the 2 girls, you know, they leveled up themselves. And he found out that his maid, Mari, something like that. I don't know what her name is, but the red hair girl, she actually does have a lot of different skills, innate skills within her, which I thought were really cool. So she's more than just a maid at this point. So now they're going to set out an adventure. And then, of course, he has Maple, and he has the elf girl as well, too. One of the things that bothers me most in a lot of these isekai anime, especially, they seem to be the most symptomatic for it, is main characters or main male characters who are allergic to women. It just is I just don't quite understand it. I think this is what passes for comedy in Japan, but even in Japan, I can't imagine that some grown man, you know, even a teenage boy is watching this and going like, oh, like look at that. He gives them panties. He gives them panties and he runs away. Ha ha ha. Like, I can't imagine that anybody. It's just frustrating. And when you have these MCs that are allergic to women, you know, males, you know, typically the female MCs do a lot better. They fare a lot better on average. You know, they typically aren't allergic to men. They're just kind of like, ugh, I don't like you, which is a much better way to go about it. But when you have these male MCs who lived a pretty full life in their past life, and then they get isekai'd, it's like you're 30 internally plus the years you've lived here, or, you know, year or whatever you lived here, and then you're going to be allergic to women. It makes no sense to me. So he creates panties for them, and then they basically offer to put him on in front of him, and he, you know, even the girls call him a wuss, but like he runs away, like running and crying, like it's like the worst thing to ever happen to him, because he can't imagine seeing these 2 females who he has pictured in their underwear being in their underwear. It's just such a weird thing, and it's not funny. And like honestly, when it comes to that type of comedy. I'd rather it just not exist. Like, I'd rather those scenes just like either just don't adapt it. Maybe they're better in a manga panel. I don't know. But like, I kind of really hate that. And I always hate it. And it always leaves a sour taste in my mouth with all the anime that do it. And a lot of them do it. And the worst part of it is if you look at the ED, his harem is going to grow. He's going to get like a fox girl. He's going to get a fox girl. He's going to get a bunny girl. And I think there's some other girls. So he's going to have a large harem. And he's just going to be allergic to them. And we're going to continue to have a bunch of scenes with him pussyfooting around because he just can't deal. It just sounds not like a good time. And, you know, as more girls get added to his repertoire of ladies, the scenes like today's scene are going to happen more frequently. And that really can make me hate the show. So I want to be wrong, but man, I have an inclination that it might just not be good. And if you match that up with less than content and then really bad comedy in lieu of an allergic MC, it's just not good. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to see him, you know, stick his dangling in things here and there and everything. I don't need to see all that. I don't need him to see him being allergic. Just, you know, if they're going to do this scene, let him react like a real person. So anyways, yeah, episode 4 left a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't the worst. It was like a 5 out of 10 episode for me personally. It was mostly lifted up by the spider evolution. So yeah, I'm going to see you guys next week for episode 5. Hopefully it's a lot better. I'll see you then.